Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is well. I'm in my office today, so don't have the best lighting and it's not quite what I'm used to. But I just wanted to hop on here to give some encouragement and just to go over some things. I do have a little bit more time I scheduled for today than I did yesterday. So I'm hoping that I can just offer some guidance and support through all of this. I know it has been pretty stressful right now, so there's a few things I want to discuss with you guys just to try and help calm the chaos, and mainly just calming the feelings of chaos right now. That is really what I want to focus on. And I'm going to start by just addressing, I want something for you guys to think about. When you're looking at the news and obsessing over media, I want you to remember that it is their job to draw you in. They make more money on advertising, the more attention that they can get, right? The more that we're just focused on them, the more they can make off of us, right? So really try not to fall for that clickbait. So like if you're on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, every time you click on this new sensationalized article, the media is making money off of that. So just, really just keep that in mind. This is huge for them. So when you're reading these articles that seem so dire and it's making us feel chaotic and hopeless, just remember that they are actually profiting off of this. So keep that in perspective before you click on, the next headline that just seems so chaotic. It's just really important for us to take care of ourselves and keep things in perspective. And yesterday I told you guys, just remember fact over fear. Just keep the facts over fear and make sure the information that you're getting is from a vetted website. Try really hard not to obsess over, the hysteria and whatnot. I think it's important for us to be diligent, and it's very important for us to be aware, but we also need to take care of ourselves. And right now it's very easy for us to allow this overwhelm. And I really want to stress that when we are buying into this, we are allowing the overwhelm into our mind. It is all about our mindset, and we can control our mindset. So what helps me anytime things seem to feel out of control or whatnot is to just have a plan, and really look at the big picture, right? Look for opportunities. I know so many owners and directors right now, you're really scared for your centers. You're scared you're going to be shut down and you're not going to be able to open back up. That is the biggest fear I think I hear coming from people, is that uncertainty that if we're forced to close down, will I be able to bounce back? Will I even have a business to come back to? That is the biggest fear. I did have a call with an official in the state of Nevada today, and that is exactly what I brought to them. That's what I told them. Like, if it's our choice, that's wonderful. Let us choose, because nobody is going to judge the centers that choose to close, and that is their prerogative. That is awesome. But the ones who choose to stay open, it's for totally different. We all have our different reasons. Sue says faith and fact over fear. Absolutely, you guys. That's one thing I think too, is just really leaning into our faith. Yesterday was a very, very overwhelming day for me, not just for my center, but there was just so much more going on. I've told you guys several times my husband is on dialysis, so that is really scary for me. And I just got so overwhelmed yesterday with just everything, and everybody's coming to me for guidance. And so one of the things it was funny, I was just kind of praying, and I turned on, I decided, okay, God, I'm going to listen to something positive, not listening to the media or anything. I'm going to put a podcast on. And that was one of the first things that I heard was, no matter what, no matter how out of control things feel right now, God is still in control. And, everything works together for good for some reason or other. So keep that focus too, that, I know it just seems like, how can this work out for good? You guys, and I can tell you that it does. It really does. I mean, I've gone through some horrific things that I never thought would turn out for the good, but in retrospect, I mean, just think of the things in your life, right? And that you look back on today that you've been through, that you're actually grateful that you went through. Because after everything is said and done, it's made us stronger, better people, right? So, and there's so many things that turn us into who we are today. So think of what you've been through in your life that makes you the person you are today, that makes you the courageous leader you are. So, and focus on that. That's, you know, a year from now, that is what we're going to see. We're going to see that we, you know, after we're through this, because we are going to get through this, everything is going to be okay. We will grow and we will be stronger afterwards. So just kind of focus on that. You know, one of my techniques I use throughout my life, I started this when I was a teenager, is I always project myself into the future. Whatever I'm going through today, I tell myself, okay, 2 months from now, what is it going to look like? As I've gotten older, I've had to really project longer, right? I mean, there's times right now in my life where I tell myself 2 years from now, this is going to pass. It's not going to be so bad. 10 years from now, this is going to pass. It's not going to be so bad. You know, the more rich our life is, the more we have to project ourselves. But think honestly, you guys, think to yourself 10 years ago, what you were going through 10 years ago. Does it even matter to you today? I mean, some of it absolutely does, but you made it. We made it. We're fine. And a lot of us are better for it, right? So keep that in the back of your mind. That will this matter? I mean, yes, it's going to matter. It's huge. But if you know, remember 9/11, think about what it was like during 9/11. We made it through. Everything was fine. You know, did it change us? Absolutely. But it made us more aware, and in some ways it changed us for the better. What we need to focus on right now is changing for the better. That is what we need to focus on. If you want to obsess over something, look around you and choose what you're going to obsess over. Instead of letting this media frenzy and everything we're seeing, don't let that control you. We can choose, you guys. This is our choice. We can choose to let the media frenzy control us. We can choose to let the Facebook paranoia control us. Or we can choose to focus on something else. Like right now, I'm looking at what kind of opportunities is this opening up for me? And that is really what I'm obsessing over right now, is turning this into what can I do? And one of the big opportunities that has opened up for me is helping you, right? And that's why I decided I was going to hop on here every day, even if it's for 2 minutes, and bring you something on this Facebook Live, because it's an opportunity I have to help you get through this time without really just, you know, losing our minds. So look at what kind of opportunities are out there. Is there something you can serve? Look for the gaps in your community and in your own lives, in just your market, whatever it may be, and fill those gaps. Can you imagine if all of us started filling gaps, what we could accomplish? So just keep that in mind and focus on filling gaps. From a business perspective, I'm going to kind of shift out of the life coach mode and into business mode. Also think in terms of how you can fill the gap in order to help the sustainability of your center. I know I'm hearing from so many of you who are afraid your centers are going to close and you're not going to be able to open back up. Okay, so let's think outside the box. So from a business perspective, what can we do in order to fill a gap that's out there and still make our income? I'm hearing from a lot of you. For those of you who haven't seen it, I did post my strategic plan. So I posted the outline. That's not my actual plan. I just kind of took my plan, broke it down, created an outline, because it's very important that each of you create your own. I did talk, when I spoke to the official from the state of Nevada, they're actually looking it over and they're going to make some recommendations. So I will put that out for you guys as soon as that is done. And then if you are one of my members, we are going to start working on yours together today. So I will start helping you actually through it. But the main thing for me, like with that strategic plan, is it does help me take command of the situation, and it alleviates my stress. So for those of you, I got a couple messages that were just like, how can you hold it together so well? Like, because I have a plan. I know, I think the reason that you're so afraid right now is because everything feels so uncertain to you. It just feels, we don't know. And especially as leaders, when we lose that control and we don't know what's going to happen, that uncertainty is what makes it's what drives the fear, right? So if you guys take the time to go through that outline and come up with your plan, I cannot tell you how much weight that will lift off your shoulders. It really, really will. One of the messages that I've gotten is that one of the messages I've gotten is about what do we do if the parents just don't pay, or if we have to shut down, can we still charge parents without offering a service? So here's my plan on that. Can we charge them? So if they decide to disenroll, there's really nothing we can do about that. We can't force them to stay with us, right? But we can make them hold to their contracts. We can absolutely tell them, I've got a 2-week notice that I'm requiring. Okay. I have an in-house subsidy. It's super simple, you guys. It's literally just a 1-page form I have my parents fill out that shows, and they do have to prove to me that they have some kind of financial hardship, right? So I am not going to hold every single one of my parents. I mean, if they lose their jobs, I'm not going to. But if they don't lose their jobs, then yeah, I am going to be a lot more strict about holding them to policy. If they're still getting the same amount of income, that's what I'm looking at, is if their income doesn't change, will I hold them to their policy? Part of that is that the ones who do, though, I don't want to cause more hardship than they're already going through either. So I do have a form I'm allowing them to fill out that shows me that, yeah, they really do have a hardship, letting them off the hook on their contracts. And but for the other families, if they want to disenroll, I'm telling them that is absolutely their choice. I totally understand. I am requiring my 2-week notice, and I am filling the spots, you guys. I am, and I'm telling them that I am. I'm not if it's a real hardship, but I am filling the spots off my wait list. So we have to do what we have to do, and do not feel bad for doing what you need to do to take care of yourself. You have a lot of responsibility on your shoulder. We have our staff looking to us for guidance and help. We have our families who rely on us. We have the other families that need us to stay open, that rely on us. If we put ourselves in a position of financial hardship because of this, who are we serving, right? We are not helping anybody to hurt our business to help others. We have got to stay financially healthy too. So do not feel bad about taking care of your business right now. Don't let anyone guilt you for it. I see so much guilt out there right now, and so many condescending people right now. But you guys, if we're going to make it through this, if your center is going to survive and you're going to be open a year from now, you cannot let that get to you. I'm telling you right now, you cannot have a bleeding heart right now if you're going to survive. And I think we need to be mindful of what people need, what their needs are. And we definitely need to be compassionate. But if our family's incomes are not changing, then I don't think it's unreasonable to ask them to keep paying us. Let's see. Jenny is saying, what type of proof do you require for them to show in regards to their income loss? I'm just asking them for like proof of their job loss. Anything that they would turn into unemployment is fine. Even if they turn in their unemployment application to me, whatever, just the proof that they really have lost their job or their hours are cut. So I'll look over. I have the subsidy form. I do an in-house subsidy. I have for years. And it's just during the bad economy, it was just a way of survival, basically. It's one of the techniques I put in to my center to stay afloat when things got really, really bad. And for you guys who don't listen to my podcast, in my city, we got to the point that our unemployment rate hit almost 30%. And, I said it yesterday that out of 5 centers that were in my town, only 2 of us survived. And there's still only 2 of us here because everybody else went out of business during the economy. And I just found ways to reinvent myself. And that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you guys to do now. That you've got to totally change your mindset. You cannot stick with these industry standards, right? And so that's where I created this whole subsidy program. And it's not nearly as difficult as you guys would think. It's literally just a piece of paper that asks a 1-page, some questions, and at the end it asks for proof. That's it. And you guys realize, I know a lot of people are like, well, isn't that privacy stuff? They're voluntarily filling out this form. We're not asking, I'm not asking for it. They're asking for help. We are offering to help. They're trying to break a contract with us. If we're going to allow them to break a contract, then they're going to have to be willing to give up some stuff. And I will tell you right now, I will send parents to collections. I need to do what I need to do to take care of my business, and I need to do what I need to do to take care of my staff. That is my biggest concern, is keeping my doors open, taking care of my staff. I have been in the position in the past, you guys, where I did not have those priorities and I almost lost my business years ago. And I will not let that happen again. I will not let my staff suffer for this, and I'm not going to let my family suffer. So, but I will show compassion where compassion is needed. So I have to stress that, you guys. I see so much on some Facebook pages, and if it comes up on my Facebook page, I delete it pretty quick. But just the shaming, like, oh, how can you? Like, well, not everybody has the monies in reserve. I know, I was there once. I was an owner once that could not sustain 1 month. Before I hired my business coach, I could not have stayed in business a month at this point. She's taught me how to sustain now. She's really guided me through this. But I know a lot of you guys are still in that position, that 1 month without tuition and you're out of business. So I'm telling you guys, ignore it. Stay off the pages with the negativity. If you guys, I know there's a couple of the groups out there that are really positive and great, and then a couple of them are just so negative. Stay off the groups that are negative. It's very different if you're just, if you're a director and you don't know what it's like to be an owner. It is very different, and if you're not the one signing those checks, you have no idea. I'm telling you right now, it is not on your shoulders to sign a payroll check and a rent check or a mortgage check that ensures all of these jobs and that all these children have care. You have no idea what that feels like. The pressure is overwhelming sometimes. And I can tell you, I have been there. Let's see, Deidre, I've had to take 2 clients to court in the past and I won. The judge said, yes, absolutely, they are. And I do too. I do the same thing. I actually have a collections company, and I'll tell you right now, you guys, when I made this mind shift in my business a few years ago, I sent $16,000 to collections in 1 year. And that is when I realized I had to start thinking like a business owner instead of a director. And that is the moment I realized I can't be this person anymore. And I had to make that mind shift from being just the director employee mind shift to shifting into a business owner's mind shift. And if you guys are going to survive this, you're going to have to make that mind shift. It is vital. That is the only way we're going to survive, and your company is going to get through this. And you guys, we can get through this. It might be tight, it might be slim for a little bit, but if you make that mind shift, if you put the processes in place that you need to, your companies can get through this. We can. We've been through things like this. I have to say I've been through worse, and I've made it. And so that being said, we don't know how bad it's going to get, but we can make it. So I know there's so much fear right now. So many people are afraid they're going to lose their businesses. So there are some things I wanted to go over. I made some notes to make sure I touched up on things. Without the notes, I don't say half the things I really want to talk to you guys about. And you guys feel free to pop in questions. If there's things that I don't touch on that you want to ask, please feel free to ask. Since I didn't plan these lives every day, I will be posting every morning what time I'm fitting them into my schedule. Let me know what times work best for you too. And, let me know what you want me to focus on. Do you guys like the encouraging words that I start with, or do you want me just to focus on business? This is all uncharted territory for all of us. So just let me know what is helpful, what's a waste of your time. So let me see, what do I have here? But yeah, okay, so the first thing I wrote down was we really need to see opportunity right now. And I'm sorry, Shannon asked, do you have business interruption insurance? So Shannon, I do go over that in the episode of my podcast that I just I published it, I think, on Saturday. But the insurance thing is a mess. I'll tell you guys right now that what I'm predicting is going to happen is our insurance companies are going to fight us no matter what our coverage is. Okay. I've talked to my insurance agent. At first, he told me one set of things. Then he called me back and said, okay, corporate is telling me I can't tell you what I just told you, and this is what's going to happen. So then I contacted my lawyer, and I had my lawyer look over my plan, and he's basically saying, yeah, what I'm going to probably be covered under is what's called civil authority, is if we're forced to shut down. There is no coverage from what I'm understanding, and your insurance, I would talk to your insurance agent. I am not an expert. I'm not a lawyer. So I cannot give you like actual advice, and you got to talk to your own insurance. But from my understanding with my policy and what my lawyer's telling me is if I choose to shut down without being mandated, there is no coverage that will cover me. The only time that coverage is going to help is if I stay open and I wait to be forced to shut down, which honestly, after talking to the state officials, I don't think they're going to do that to us. I don't know though. I mean, you talk to one person and really that person is just advising. They don't get to make the final decision. So it doesn't look like they will, but we'll see. They do realize that we are essential employees. We are actually in their minds as of right now categorized as essential employees. So we'll see how that turns out though as things progress. But so yeah, I would call your own insurance company. There are so many things that are called endorsements, and endorsements are basically additions to your basic policy that cover basic things. What's happening though is this is so unprecedented that there is no endorsement for this. So the writing on the wall is that insurance companies are going to fight us, and we will probably end up having to go to court over it. But my lawyer is telling me that the way they're written, there are ways that we can get paid. So just, I would definitely, look into that right now. Just talk to your insurance agent. The other thing is, you guys, there's a program that's somewhat like it's called Legal Shield, and it's $99 a month, and it's kind of like having lawyer insurance. You get access to talking to a lawyer every day, or so many times a month actually. They'll go over certain documents for you, and so and that's what I use. I just use Legal Shield. It's $99 a month. I get the same lawyer every single time. So I know the guy, we have a relationship. I can send him up to 15 documents a month. So every time I create a document, I send it to him first, and then I post it for you guys to look at. So that's kind of how I do use it. And also I have to mention, you guys, that I am in the state of Nevada. Every state has different laws. So just keep that in mind. And I am not a lawyer. So, but I kind of want to go back to Deidre's thing on collections. I do have a collection agency. It is super easy to hire them. They are specific to states. So if you just Google collection agency in this state, you can contact them and talk to them about hiring them. With my collection agency, they do keep 40%, but it's worth it. I wouldn't have gotten that money anyway. I really don't have the time to take people to court myself. I have 190 families. So if I was a smaller center, I probably would do it myself because I don't think it's that difficult. But even if you don't want to, but that one year I was telling you guys about, where I came the end of the year, we're filing our taxes, and there it was, $16,000 in bad debt of parents that did not pay me. That's when I realized I had to make a mind shift. That's when I hired my business coach. Things got so bad. And I can tell you guys, I was in a position then where I never thought I would be able to afford her. I just, it was at the point where I had a decision to make. Either I was going to hire her or I was going to go out of business. And she was kind of my Hail Mary. And I decided, I'm going to do this. This is my last shot. And thank God I did, because, you know, she completely turned my business around. I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. I wouldn't be able to lead you through this if I had not made that decision. So I just got to the point where I realized I couldn't afford not to hire her. I just knew, like, I can't afford not to work with her. And a lot of what I'm doing now is I've taken what I've learned from her, and I worked with her every day for 2 to 3 years, every single week. And then we shifted to once a month. So that's why I say 2 to 3 years. Every day for 2 years, once a week, 1 hour a day, we were on the phone. She was teaching me everything. I mean, I kind of joked that she kind of got me my MBA, because it was like having a one-on-one professor every week for an hour, literally. And so now what I've done is just taken that information and made it childcare specific. I still work with her. She's my accountability. You know, I see her as my accountability coach. So I still talk to her every week. Having that accountability is so important for me, so I don't fall back into old habits, fall back into bad mindsets, things like that. And now her and I collaborate, and a lot of the things that I bring to you, she helps me work on. So like the things we go through on my membership, that's what it's all about. I'm basically trying to figure out a way, how can I make the support affordable for more people, which is why I started the membership service, is instead of having to pay the really expensive prices for having that coach or, you know, one-on-one, still getting the same information, you still have the access. But I can tell you guys, like for my coach, I pay her $1,500 a month. When I coach clients one-on-one, that's what I charge. So the membership is just a way to do it as a group, that it's not $1,500 a month. It's just an inexpensive way to get the same kind of results. The only difference is you're doing it in a group. You don't get that one-on-one. So I don't do a lot of the work. Like if you're a one-on-one client of mine, I'll do a lot of the work for you. I'll do a lot of the writing. But this, I may mainly just give you more templates, just like the one I just provided on the strategic plan. And then help, but my members will get help every step of the way, just writing it. So let me see, what other questions do we have? Family childcare providers need to get the business mindset. Absolutely. They don't realize we are a business. We are just a similar, I totally agree with you, Deidre. I could not agree with you more. And Sherry, I know I saw you pop on here. Are you still here? I hope you, I don't know, Sherry, you're another good business model. But yes, you guys should connect. Actually, Sherry's a home provider out here in Fernley, and she's got a pretty strong business too. I totally agree with you. If you have a home, you guys are a business too. The only difference is it's a smaller scale, but you are absolutely a business, and you need to treat your business like it's a business. You've got to have policies, procedures, and you have to keep your families on it. I did home providing for a while, and I swear there are parts of it that are much harder than running a center with 18 staff and 190 families. It can be a lot harder. So because parents take advantage of you a lot more. I don't know, when you've got this kind of a business, you don't get nearly that. It's hard. It's easier to keep those relationship lines. But when you run your business like it's a business, you're so much better off. And it is a business. Do not underestimate the work you guys do. It is so, so, so important. And you have to treat yourself like the professional that you are, whether you're doing it out of your home or you're doing it in a center. You've got to treat yourself the way you want to be treated. So make sure that you're, commanding that respect for sure. So one of the things on my notes, I've said, looking for opportunity, right? And one of the questions that I have received is, how can I charge parents if I'm not providing a service? Well, I have been thinking about this. How are we going to charge parents? And I've thought of a way we can create a service. So here's what I'm going to do. If we are forced to shut down, we are going to do virtual preschool classes. I have my Zoom account. I will have, and this is a way also that I can help my staff a little bit. We can literally have different teachers on Zoom once an hour doing different activities with the children. we are still providing, and then you send an invite to your enrolled families. So even if they're not here, you're welcome. My son is calling me. And I forgot to shut my phone part out. So we will still be able to, if we do the Zoom thing, you're still providing a service. You can tell parents, hey, you still have to work from home. I'm still trying to run a business, or even if they're not working from home. A lot of parents, they're not going to want to, you know, they just don't know how to have their kids home with them all day anymore. And so in that case, what we can do is start doing, like, you know, schedule your staff, think of, or do it for yourself. You're doing it every day anyway. Now do it in front of your computer with Zoom on, and tell your parents, we still have our preschool lessons available. We are doing art projects. We're doing this, we're doing that, whatever. Normally I'm not about photocopy. I really just am totally anti-photocopy. But in this case, I think we got to do what we got to do. So find a lesson online, send it to them, create a Pinterest board, have your parents go on there, upload the information, and provide preschool through Zoom. Or there's Microsoft Teams is excellent. That's another great one. Go to meetings. It doesn't have to be through Zoom. That's just what I use. I know my business coach uses Teams. She prefers Teams. So really, you can even do Skype, you guys. Skype, I don't know if Skype does group though. I don't know. Does anyone know out there? Does Skype do group? And for you guys in family care, that would be so much, it would be pretty easy, you know, like for me, I'm thinking 100 kids, oh my gosh. But I already have a paid Zoom account for this business. So will I have to mix it? Yeah, I will. But for you guys, you know, Zoom has a free platform so I don't know what their limit is, but if it's not too many kids, it is free. But honestly, it's not that expensive anyway, even if you pay for a Zoom account. And if it's a way that you're still providing service so you can charge your families while they're not in your center, go for it. You know, I think that's one of the biggest fears is, how am I going to charge if I'm not providing a service? Well, we're doing virtual preschool. So something to think about, just a little business technique that we can use. The other thing I really wanted to talk to you guys about is, throughout the next day, I want you to kind of look, and, you know, I've already advised you guys to limit your time on social media, right? Really just try to limit how much. But I want you to look at the Hive Mindset. How many of you guys have seen Toy Story? Have you guys, like, in your comments, just let me know. Have you guys seen Toy Story? And you guys all know the little green guys. I can't remember what they're called, and I love those little guys. But they have that Hive Mindset, right? Where they all think together. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of right now, is this Hive Mindset going on, where people are really just kind of following suit. I mean, the reason we're out of toilet paper and all these supplies isn't because there's a shortage. It's because everybody jumped on a bandwagon and went and bought toilet paper. That's it. It's a Hive Mindset. So really watch that and start paying attention. How many people are panicking and buying out the toilet paper because they are just buying into what everybody else is feeling? When you're aware of things like that, it can help you to break free of it, okay? And just kind of pull yourself out and look at it from a different perspective. Just start kind of looking at it like you're people watching instead of participating. So really move from watching to participating. And you guys will you want to go from participating to watching. You'll be amazed at how much that alone will relieve your stress level. Just be an observer, not a participant. That's, you know, just try to read and not comment. Don't let this stuff get into your mind. And also really think about, how many things are you panicked about now that you're only panicked about because you read it, because someone else posted about it, right? And so something else that you wouldn't have even been like, it wouldn't have affected you at all, but somebody else brought it up, and now suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. That's something new to worry about. So really think about that. And that's why I say limit your exposure, you guys. Go for a walk. Do whatever. I know it's freezing here in Northern Nevada right now. We got snow. But still, bundle up. Go for a walk. Play with your dogs. Play with your children. Do whatever. But try not to expose yourself, because we're creating so much of our anxiety right now. And if you guys look at the stock market is really reacting just as a hive mindset, right? The feds came out with this thing over the weekend. Everybody just decided like, oh no, what does this mean? So they started pulling their money out. So the problem with that is that they're being reactive instead of proactive. So just, don't buy into this hive mindset thing. And it's all going to pass, you guys. It's going to pass. If you've got money in the stock market, just don't look at it right now. You don't lose the money until you touch the money. Okay. So if we just wait, that's when, that's all it is. I mean, and don't anticipate, if we're part of what we're doing right now is we are constructing these futures in our mind. And that is what's really freaking us out. If you're going to construct a future in your mind, why don't you construct a future of prosperity where you're constructing and telling yourself, I am going to find a gap right now and I am going to use my center to fill that gap. And a year from now, I'm going to be stronger and better for it. So if we are literally just constructing our own scenarios at this point, why not construct something positive? We have that control. We can do that. We can choose. We just have to make the choice. And what I'm really saying is just don't let your mind run wild. Take control of it. That's a big one. So going back to my strategic plan I created for you guys, the outline, what I'm really trying to get at here and what I think would help the most is planning will help you to feel in control and help you to take command of the situation. So if you feel like the plan that I put out there for you guys doesn't fit you, what I would suggest that you do is just get out a piece of paper and write down all the things that you're scared of right now. Everything that's really, really scaring you. Write it all out. Get it out there. And then go through and create a plan for each one of those. Okay? Just think to yourself, like for me right now, I am really nervous for my husband who is on dialysis, right? It really scares me. I have a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old in and out of my house. So my 16-year-old is extremely social. And so that was something that really, really was scary for me, is like, okay, he always wants friends over. He always wants to be around people. He just thrives on that. So I just wrote that out and came up with a plan on how am I going to control that. That's all I can do. I can't control it beyond that. So, I came up with a written plan on how am I going to help keep my husband safe in this situation. That's it. It helps me to feel like I have control. Is it a false sense of security? Absolutely. But it's a sense of security, and that's what I needed to, and it helps. So I know sometimes, and let me give you another instance on that. I could have written down, my husband has dialysis, he's on dialysis, he just had a stroke, he's very vulnerable right now, and I could have let my mind go with, oh my God, he's going to, oh, this is horrible, oh my God, think of where I could have taken my mind. I could have thought to myself, there's no way I'm going to get my son to stop socializing, but instead, I didn't let that happen. Right? I could also be thinking in terms of my business right now. Like, what if, all my parents leave me and I can't get paid and I've got $50,000 a month in bills that I can't pay. What am I going to do? But I'm not going to allow my brain to go, I came up with a plan. I have an action plan. I'm taking steps in order to make sure. And if you guys notice in the strategic plan, I even put on there to start planning. And I think it's very important to know if your tuition drops by 25, 70, just really go 50%, 75%, zero. Have a plan. Know where your breaking point is. If you guys don't know your finances, I'm going to talk to Christine, my coach, because she is a financial advisor. She's just a financial genius, and see if maybe she'll do something for you guys. If she'll get on here to help guide you through some kind of financial plan. I know finances are a very in-depth, and she's like a forensic accountant, so she always, whenever I tell her, can you give me an overview for my audience, she always is like, there, you can't overview this. So I'll tell her, can we please just try to break this down I know, like, she always wants to go, I don't know their individual situations. Like, yeah, I'll try to get her to make a template so that you guys can like figure out how to figure this stuff out. These are the kind of things that she's taught me over the years, like just really how to get a handle on each step of the way so that you have contingency plans. Also, start looking into where can you pull money. Are there things like, for me right now, I have a huge fleet of vans. I don't need 4 vans, honestly, but I have 4 vans. If I need to sell 2, I'll make it work with 2, you know? So just things like that. You look at where you can pull. I really urge you guys, try not to go into your personal finances. Huge mistake that we make as business people, especially in our field. Try not to touch your houses, try not to touch your personal stuff, you know, but I know sometimes we have no choice, right? I am doing some research. I have reached out to the SBA officials so that I can figure out what we need to do to apply for loans. So if you're in a position where you're already starting to feel the pain, I will try to get that information out to you guys as soon as possible. For my members, I will walk you through applying for the application. So that's something else we can be proactive. Think of ways you can be proactive. Start. The biggest thing I can tell you I've learned, if I could summarize in one way, like if I only had one thing to tell you about all the things that Christine has taught me on becoming a good business owner, I think the biggest thing and the biggest mind shift is, instead of being reactive, be proactive. Look at the problems that are coming, plan, and be ready for it. I'm telling, that will make all the difference in the world. So not only will it help you feel in control right now, but you'll see that things work. Do plans have to change? Absolutely. But 90% of it will probably help out a lot. Available, but you will need to provide a business plan and bank information. Good to know. Thanks, Melissa. So okay, so for my members, tonight we're going to work on your strategic plan. I'm going to get you started on that. Thursday we will start working on business plans. My SBA officer actually told me that I had one of the best business plans he's ever seen. So he said that it's just so thorough and complete, but I'm kind of a nerd in that kind of stuff, as you guys could probably see with all the stuff I've just been creating. I love creating that kind of stuff, so it's where I thrive. So yeah, so for my members, we'll start working on creating those so that you guys have them. I think we need to be ready and get those in. You guys are probably going to need financials then. You'll need balance sheets, P&Ls. They're going to want KPIs. How many of you guys know what a KPI is? Anyone know what a KPI is? It's key. Oh gosh, now I can't write. I have so many acronyms. Basically, a KPI is knowing what your breaking points are. How much per child do you need to take in? What is the minimum amount of money per child just to pay your bills? How many children do you need just to pay your bills? And then you break that down into micros, right? You go into like how many in each classroom. If you had to shut a classroom down, what is your best classroom to shut down? Which one is your most significant? And you break it down, like how much you just know every little bit. Every child pays for what the bottom line on everything. So, and it can get pretty complicated, but if you really want to have command of your business, you got to know that stuff. I mean, it's huge. Knowing it is huge. So those are the kind of things I'm going to try and get Christine to figure out, help me design a template for, so that you can figure that kind of stuff out quick, because it's just, the better your business plan is and the more that you give the bank up front, the less they have to chase you and the quicker it'll go. So do you guys have any questions for me? Let me think of questions. See if I let's see. I think I got everything. So if you guys don't have any questions, I think I've covered everything I wanted to talk about. And feel free to send me some just different, if you guys have questions. I'm getting messaged a lot. I don't mind answering your guys' messages. It just may take me some time. I'm a little overwhelmed right now between running my business, my house, and helping you guys out, and then I was really excited that the state started talking to me from an owner's perspective instead of making these decisions, you know, from an outside perspective. So yes, Melissa says planning is key to survival right now. Absolutely. And you guys, I'm telling you, we can survive. We can, but you got to have a plan. If you don't start putting things into place now, you know, you want to be the center that survives. We are going to see a lot of centers close down, I'm sure. When this is all said and done, we are going to see a lot of centers shut down. But we can survive. We can get through this. We just have to be proactive, not reactive. You got to have a plan. So if there's no other questions, I will post later. I've got to look through my schedule every day and see what times. And I'll try to create a weekly calendar of what times I'll be going live. And I might put a survey out too to see what's better for you guys, mornings or evenings right now, or even midday. I don't know. I know a lot of people are probably going to watch this playback because they're working, but I will put something out for that. I'll try and figure something out. So if that's it, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And oh, also, just if there's any questions that came in, I know my phone lags sometimes on these lives and I don't get all, like after I sign off, I see a bunch of remarks that I missed. So if that's the case, I'll just go through and type you guys some answers throughout the feed. So, and feel free, if you're watching this, you know, for the recording, just, you can type in some questions. I'm more than happy to answer. So you guys stay safe, protect your toilet paper. I got to show you guys, I'm wearing my office right now and everything's, my paper towels and toilet paper are in here. I told you guys last week, I think, that we caught a parent trying to steal our hand sanitizer. So they were walking right out the door with our hand sanitizer. So now I'm protecting my stuff. Got to protect my business, right? So you guys have a wonderful week. I will see you guys sometime tomorrow. I'll let you know. Bye.